Good evening, this is your News Revisited in the United Kingdom, and today we will be remembering two highly relevant figures in India for their humanitarian work and in Colombia for their contributions to politics and social activism. From India, our correspondent Joanna Gomez. Go ahead, Joanna.
Thank you, Paul. Good night. Here from India, your correspondent Joanna Gomez. I am in Calcutta, the city of a very important person, the Mother Teresa of Calcutta. You may wonder when this important woman was born. Agnes Gonzalez Bonjos, her original name, was born in Skopje, present-day Macedonia, in 1910. She was an Albanian nun, naturalized Indian Nobel Peace Prize winner in 1979. And what is the most important legacy to remember her? When Mother Teresa of Calcutta died in 1997, the Congregation of the Missionaries of Charity already had more than 500 centers in 100 countries, but perhaps the order he founded whose goal is to help the poorest of the poor is the smallest part of his legacy. The greatest was to become a recent inspiring example, palpable and living proof of how generosity, selflessness, and dedication to others also make sense in modern times. But what was the origin of the mission Mother Teresa of Calcutta? Mother Teresa of Calcutta was born into an Albanian Catholic family. Her mother's deep religiosity accompanied Agnes' vocation as a missionary at the age of 12. While still a child, she entered the Marian Congregation of the Daughters of Mary, where she began her activity of assisting those in need. Moved by the chronicles of a Christian missionary in Bengal, at the age of 18, she left her hometown forever and traveled to Dublin to profess in the Congregation of the Lady of Loreto. As she wanted to be a missionary in India, she embarked for Bengal, where she studied teaching and chose the name Teresa to profess. And what is one of the most important phrases of Mother Teresa of Calcutta? Teresa of Calcutta said, "There is no heroic about the work we do. Anyone who has the grace of God can do it." Interesting phrase. Finally, how were the last days of this admirable woman? After overcoming several cases, she gave up her position as superior to Sister Nirmala, a Hindu converted of Christianity. A few days after celebrating his 87th birthday, she was admitted to the intensive care unit of Woodlands Nursing Home in Calcutta, where she died. Thousands of people from all over the world gathered in India to say goodbye to the saint of the sugar. 6 years after her death in October 2003, and coinciding with the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the pontificate of John Paul II, Mother Teresa of Calcutta was beatified in a massive mass attended by faithful from all over the world. At the end of 2050, the Vatican approved his canonization. On September 4th, 2016, before more than 100,000 faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis officiated the ceremony that elevates Saint Teresa of Calcutta to the altars, whose feast day, September 5, incorporate in the into the Catholic calendar of saints was celebrated for the first time at that next day. This is how we end our broadcast from Calcutta, a place of admirable women. Continue, Claudia, our correspondent in Colombia. Hello, Claudia.
Hi, Johanna. I am here in Colombia reciting the famous character Jaime Garzón movie from the human side to the critical, social and political issue. Jaime Garzón was an important Colombian political scientist, critic, journalist, lawyer, sociologist, and pedagogue. He was the pioneer of the political human in Colombia. Jaime Garzón was born in Bogotá on October 24, 1960, studied law on the National University of Colombia and political science at the Javeriana, a degree that he could not finish, although in the 1999 he received two titles posthumously. The National Pedagogic University of Colombia, awarding him an honorary degree in education. Before entering the media, Jaime Garzón had already held positions such as Mainomer of Sumapaz, coordinator of translation of the Constitution of the 1991 at the Casa de Nariño, and participating in the process of freeing the kidnapped far in the 19th. During this time, Jaime Garzón ventured into the media at the same time, working on the Espectador, making columns and cartoons. Between 1919 and 1993, the program Sociedad was aired, a parody program about the political and social reality of Colombia. When Quad television program closed in the 1997, Jaime Garzón began working on the program La Lechuza of Caracol Television of the WAP channel. He also worked for the CN and news program and for the Radionet station. In the program La Lechuza was where he was born, perhaps most iconic of his characters, the Chuchan boy Eliberto de la Calle, June, he played until the day he died. Jaime Garzón was murdered on August 13, 1999. His death caused shock and consternation in Colombia and around the world, and his legacy continues to inspire to a struggle for peace and justice in the country. Jaime Garzón was a journalist and human rights defense in Colombia. Their work and sacrifice continue to inspire people around the world to fight for a better future. Good night.
Thanks to our two correspondents and your very informative news articles. That's all from Tonight News. Good night.